I'll bet you nobody has asked you this question before, but I'm going to ask you right now. What is your marriage worth to you? Let's talk about that on today's episode. The cost of your marriage license, depending on where you live, was probably around $40 or $50. The average cost of a wedding in the United States last year was over $35,000. And if you were to get a divorce today, the legal fees would probably run you around $15,000. There are a lot of people, including the government and dressmakers and photographers and lawyers, who are out there trying to tell you what your marriage is worth. But have you ever stopped to think what the true value of your marriage really is? Now, I love this amazing quote by Simon Sinek. He says, "Value is not determined by those who set the price. Value is determined by those who choose to pay it." A great example of this is, what is the value of a tissue? A tissue might be worth a penny. But when somebody puts a tissue on eBay that has been used by somebody like Justin Bieber and it sells for $500, the tissue itself didn't necessarily change in its value. It's what somebody was willing to pay for it that made it change in value. So, what is the value of your marriage? I want to repeat that question. The answer is whatever you are willing to pay. And I'm not just talking dollars here. Here's an example I want to share with you. A good buddy of mine just recently leveled up the value of his marriage and his family life. So he reached out to me a few months ago to catch up, and then he dropped this crazy bombshell that I did not see coming. He said, "Hey, I want to share something with you because I think you're one of the only people that I know who would actually get it without any weird judgment or anything like that." I was like, "Hit me. Tell me what's going on." He said, "My wife and I have been talking. We've been talking about the kind of life that we want to live as a family. Now, for a while, we felt like we've been caught up in the hamster wheel of life, which is fine if that's what you want, but that's not what we want. So next year, we're going to sell our house and we're going to take our entire family on a trip around the world. We're going to visit 5 continents and around 30 countries, and we're going to expose our kids to different cultures and have adventures and make incredible memories together." Now, when I heard this, I almost got out of my seat and cheered for joy in the restaurant that we were eating at. Life is short. He's putting his time, his energy, and his money where his mouth is, into his marriage and family. Now, I don't think everybody should quit their job and sell their house and jet set across the world for a year, because what's best for my buddy isn't best for everybody. But I do think that everybody should invest a little bit more seriously in their dreams. And that means putting a little more thought and effort and creativity into the way they want to live their life. Now, if you want to prove that you truly value your marriage, you have to invest in it with your time, your money, your energy, and your attention. That is how you measure the value of your marriage. It's whether or not you're investing in it and how much. Is there a dance class that you've been talking about signing up for? Do it. Is there a vacation that you've always dreamed of going on? Plan it out. Figure out how much it's going to cost you to do it, and then start saving, like today. Do you long for those days when the passion was super intense between you and your partner and everything you did had this veil of romantic tension and suspense and flirtation around it? Well, what can you do to recreate that romantic excitement? Do you need to buy some sexy underwear? Do you need to meet up for a date where you pretend to have never met before and then try to pick up on each other? Do you need to get your body back in shape? Do you need to reenact your first date or maybe your honeymoon? Remember that quote I shared earlier. The value is not determined by those who set the price. Value is determined by those who choose to pay it. So what choice are you determined to pay for your marriage? And what have you already missed out on because you've been unwilling to pay the price to have the kind of marriage you truly, truly want? Look, I am a firm believer that most couples don't need therapy to have a great marriage. But it's incredibly rare that you'll ever get the type of marriage that you're capable of without a little bit of guidance and encouragement. There's just too much working against you. Whether it's the fact that you didn't grow up with good examples of marriage, or the terrible stuff that we get exposed to from Hollywood and reality TV, or just the fact that you're two imperfect humans trying to create an amazing life together, even though nobody has ever taught you how to do that. Now, I'm a firm believer that working on your marriage shouldn't have to feel like work. And that's exactly why I created the Epic Marriage Club. Here's how it works. You get regular monthly workshops and trainings from the top marriage experts in the world. Then, every single week, I transform those lessons into an actionable experiment that we'll do together, because you only get results when you take action. And you'll be doing these experiments with an amazing community of awesome couples that care as much about having a great marriage as you do. Plus, I'll do a monthly Q&A session to make sure that you never get stuck or hung up on anything. It's literally everything you need to have a truly epic marriage. And the best part? It's freaking fun. You get all that and a whole bunch of other awesome stuff that I haven't mentioned yet for the price of a movie ticket. So go sign up right now at epicmarriageclub.com.